All right, we have to address why is everything so expensive today? So you keep hearing your grandparents and your parents and your uncles say, when I was a kid, it wasn't that expensive. They're right, but nobody understands why. Everybody keeps crying about corporate profits and the CEOs and the minimum wage. Let me break it down for you so you can all understand. First of all, this used to be what money was. This is gold, 1 ounce of gold. And this is silver. All right, these are 50-cent pieces from way before they started being made of plastic. Now these were made of silver. So let's talk about what this is actually worth and what somebody could expect to earn. So when you watch these old movies, you'll notice when a guy pulls up to the gas station, you have one guy come out, checking the oil, cleaning the windshield, wiping out the wipers. Another guy's pumping the gas, and you're thinking, well, gas stations today can't even afford the labor to do that, so how could they afford it back then? Simple. Today we use these worthless Federal Reserve notes. I'll get into those at the end, but these are called Federal Reserve notes. Okay, remember that name. So let's go back in time a little bit. In 1956, when your granddad was working, gold cost $35 per ounce. Minimum wage was 1 hour. So if he worked for a 40-hour week, he would earn $40 or 1.14 ounces of gold. So he would earn more than one of these working for 1 week. Okay? Hold on to that. 1968, gold was still 35 an ounce. Minimum wage was $1.60 per hour. So 40 hours of work, $64. That would buy him 1.82 ounces of gold. Almost 2 whole ounces of gold. 1975, gold was worth $160 an ounce. Minimum wage was $2.10. So 40 hours worth of work would get you $84, which would get you 0.53 ounces of gold. So you can see it's starting to go down. What is gold worth today? Today, gold is worth 3,389 of these. Almost 3,400 of these pieces of paper is what this is worth today. Back in 1956, it was 35 of these. So the reason everything's getting so expensive is because the people that print these, remember whose name's on there, Federal Reserve, these people are idiots. They keep putting out this fake money over and over and over because they think it doesn't affect you. No, they don't care about you. They want you to be broke and poor. Okay? And this is why, I know I'm jumping the gun here, but bear with me. This is why everybody in Zimbabwe was worth $20 billion. Everybody had these. $20 billion. And they were starving. It doesn't matter what number you put on these things. When they become worthless, nobody wants them. Okay? Nobody wants these sucky Federal Reserve notes. Everybody wants gold. Silver. All right, this is 5 ounces of silver right here. I paid $100 for it, and today I paid $100 for it probably like 8 years ago. Today it sells for about $200, maybe a little more, a little bit less. It's irrelevant. So let's put this in perspective. In 1997, I was working. Minimum wage was like $5.15. I'm not saying I made minimum wage, but it was $5.15. Gold was $350 per ounce. So if I worked a whole week, I would get $206, and that would give you about a half an ounce of gold. In today's money, in 1997, that half ounce of gold, $1,965. That was your purchase power in 97. In 1975, it was $1,796. In 1968, minimum wage would buy you enough gold that would be worth $6,167 today. And in 1956, minimum wage would get you 1.14 ounces of gold, which is worth $3,863. So as it progresses, your minimum wage in 2009 was $725. 40 hours worth of work gives you $290. And that would buy you, because gold was $972 at that point, that would buy you 0.29 ounces of gold, which about $982 back then. So your $290 working for $290 in 2009 was actually worth, in today's currency, $982. So today, in 2025, gold is worth $3,389.75. Minimum wage is still $725. So if you work it, you're going to get $290, and $290 in today's currency will get you 0.085 of one of these. Basically, less than 10% of one of these is what 40 hours of hard work will get you today. Well, minimum wage work. And that's worth about $288. The point I'm getting at is, people are complaining about the price of things. It's not the price of things that are going up. It's these sucky Federal Reserve notes that are going down. They are becoming worth less. And remember, I want you to pay close attention. I've got a $2 bill here and a $2 bill here. To the naked eye, oh, one's got red ink, one's got green ink. But I want you to pay attention. Look at the top. One of them says United States note, and the other one says Federal Reserve note. President John F. Kennedy introduced United States notes, which are owned by our government, and they're printed interest-free. What happened to that guy? I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, my point is, we need to attack the problem in this country. It's the Federal Reserve printing these fake dollars that don't have any backing and any value. The Constitution told us gold and silver is what is money. The founders knew what they were talking about, and if you were making minimum wage like you were back in 1956, you would work $1 an hour, you get 40 hours, and that would give you the purchase power of $3,863 today. That's why the economy sucks.